Welcome to Kanji Bachi. Have you ever wondered what all you need to bring with you when you attend a class? That's what we're going to talk about today. There's some basics that you just don't want to walk out the door without. The first thing seems like it's kind of a no-brainer there, but that would be a sewing machine in good working order. So when I say good working order, that means you've sewn on it at least within a week of the class, and you've done everything that you should be doing in the class on that machine, and it hasn't given you any issues. So you've sewn a straight line, you've embroidered something, you've serged something, and you were able to do it without any major hiccups. That's what you want to double check before you throw your machine into your trunk and head out the door. It's super important that you do that beforehand, because it's so embarrassing and it's just no fun. It ruins the whole atmosphere and vibe of your day if you get to class and find that your machine is not working. That's just a big bummer. So absolutely a sewing machine in good working order. The next thing that we see, or I see people coming to class all the time without, is a foot pedal and a power cord. So those are two things that you pretty much can't sew without. If you're doing embroidery and stuff like that and you don't need a foot pedal, then sure, you can leave it at home, but it's never a bad idea to have it with you. So foot pedal, power cord, absolute must-haves when you're attending a class. And then from there, we're going to go on to some of the more practical things that you'll be using outside of just your machine. So I personally keep all my stuff in a container. You don't have to have that. You can do those zip top baggies, whatever works for you. Thread, good quality thread. Whatever project it is that you're working on, pre-wind some bobbins with that thread, whether it's embroidery bobbin thread or whether it's your sewing thread that you need matching bobbins for. Wind some bobbins and have it all ready before class. You don't want to be sitting there trying to play catch up when everybody else is already sewing and you're getting behind. So bobbins, thread to match whatever project it is that you're going to be doing. If you're doing a bunch of different colors, bring all those colors with you. You don't want to be left without in the middle of class. You want to make sure you have all the presser feet that you need, so whether it's an embroidery foot or a quilting foot or your sewing foot, a satin stitch foot, zipper foot, whatever kind of presser foot you would need, make sure you have those on hand. And then a pair of scissors. It doesn't necessarily have to be 8-inch scissors like this, but a good scissor that you can do some basic cutting with, whether it's just cutting off the end of the material, cutting off some selvages, whatever it may be. You want a pair of scissors. A rotary cutter with a new blade, that's super important. A new rotary cutter blade is really, really nice. If you're going to be using anyone else's cutting mat, absolutely put a new blade on it. Be courteous to them because you don't want to be damaging their mat. And then also be courteous to yourself. Put yourself a new blade. It makes your cutting easier. You won't be damaging your mat if you are bringing a mat. So depending on the size of the project that you're working on and whether or not and depending on the size of the project you're working on or how much space you have available to you, that would determine whether you bring your own cutting mat or not. So extra blades though, just in case you nick your blade on a ruler, or if you drop it, or if someone else accidentally picks up your cutter and nicks it, then you want to be able to replace that. A screwdriver. So this would be for changing your foot, changing your needle, taking your needle plate off in case you get some bird nesting or anything of that nature. You want to be able to handle that in that scenario. A seam ripper, whether it's going to be a serging seam ripper or a blade, you want to keep a seam ripper on hand. Needles. So you're going to break a needle eventually. Whether it's in the class today or a class 5 years from now, keep an extra pack of needles in your sewing kit, because that's the biggest bummer, is that you have to stop because you don't have any needles on hand. Straight pins, wonder clips, a glue pen, anything that you use to hold your seams together. Tweezers for the same bird's nesting, or if you're a marking utensil. It's worth having a marking utensil. Guys, don't use a Sharpie. Rulers. If you need a specialty ruler for class, definitely bring those. But I keep at least a 6 by 24, and then this is my 6.5 by 12.5. Those are ideal size. These are gonna go with me to every single class. And then an iron and an ironing surface. This is just a little mini iron, and it folds up and goes into my sewing kit. And then lastly, your material for class. So if you have fabric that you're bringing with you, stabilizers, whatever it may be, make sure you grab those. Your pattern is another really important thing that often gets left behind. Make sure you've got your pattern. Anything else that you want is definitely a bonus and add-on, but these are going to be the absolute essentials. If I'm walking out my door, I will have all of these things with me. I hope this was helpful. Again, if you like this, hit subscribe. If you want more videos like this, drop us a line in the comments, give us some suggestions of things you want to see, and we will be doing more of these in the future. Thanks for joining us. You comfy down there?